The Wizard's Vault has got some really good stuff in it, and it's got some really bad stuff in it. And today, we're going to go through every single choice to see what exactly is going on here and what you might be looking to pick up in the first edition of the Wizard's Vault. I'm going to be rating things in terms of their overall value and also utility. So some items are actually a little bit expensive and they're not actually super cost efficient, but the accessibility, the utility of them is very, very high. That's to kind of contextualize that ranking there as well. And some items are simply just fantastic in terms of their value. You're just getting so much for the essence, for that astral acclaim that you're putting in. So let's leap into it, and I think a lot of people will see this coming, but in absolute god tier is the legendary weapon starter kit. This is going to give you, around 300 to 500 gold. Prices may change, of course, in terms of overall value, and it's just a fantastic way to kind of get started on your legendaries and just getting some of those things. You can only get 4 legendaries, and those will rotate around. So, hey, maybe you don't like that exact legendary, so unlucky, I guess. But even if you don't, bear in mind, the precursor you get out of this legendary weapon starter kit is account bound. But if you craft that legendary, yeah, you can sell it. So this is actually still, a little bit of work to get some gold out, but you absolutely can get a bunch of gold out of there. You know what? We've done the really good stuff. Let's have some fun. Let's do the really, really bad stuff. So going straight into absolute noob trap, do not click these tier. No, unless you've got a sense of humor, I suppose. Vision Crystal, large crafting bag, Obsidian Shard. Essence of Luck, and of course, an item I do quite enjoy, actually, but here is woefully overpriced, the Lesser Essence of Gold. So, why are these bad? Well, for a start, Essence of Luck is just absurdly common. You just get these from salvaging random green items. The game kind of throws these at you. This is, if you've bought literally everything else somehow and you can't buy anything else, you can't buy any of the repeatables because, I don't know, your mouse doesn't work, then yeah, you could click on the Essence of Luck. But other than that, no. Obsidian 50 Astral Acclaim for something that costs 2,100 karma. You are going to end up deleting these if you play the game even a tiny bit, right? Especially if you play a little bit of PvP in World versus World, but PvE too, actually. You get these things thrown at you. 50 is hilarious. This is, do not buy this, okay? ANET put this in as a troll, right? It's actually there. It's like, oh, you got to click the right one. Maybe if you misclick, you click it. Large crafting bag. I actually kind of think this is a typo. I actually don't think this is the correct value. I can't imagine why ArenaNet would put it at this. This is tier 5 materials. These are very, very cheap. They're about 1 silver each. For a tier 5 material, you get a bunch of them in this bag. It is not good value, even a tiny bit. I almost suspect this was supposed to be 4, not 40, because it is very, very low value. There's no reason to get this. Vision Crystal, again, you could argue there's some value here because of crafting, but no, there isn't. This is just a bunch of the junk ascended materials basically smushed into each other. And yeah, that's it. It's not good, to be honest. Like, don't get this. You don't want it. And of course, the Lesser Essence of Gold, it is fun, actually. And this is, in my opinion, one of the most insidious noob traps. So if you mouse over this, it says, you get 1% gold find. And you might go, ooh, that's kind of good. 1% gold, that sounds pretty sick. But of course, in Guild Wars 2, you don't really drop a lot of gold from enemies. You're mostly getting materials and items and then selling them on. So this, even though it is a fun number, and I'll admit this, I might end up picking these up just because I want to see the number go up. Because I'm at something like 240% gold find or something crazy like that. Yeah, maybe I'll do it, but you shouldn't. In fact, I shouldn't either. I'm a bad influence. This is worthless. I'd actually really like them to move this into maybe the special category. So maybe if you beat all of the special objectives every 3 months, you kind of get these for free. But yeah, no, stay away. It's actually so funny to me that they value this at the same as the legendary weapon starter kit. I like that. ANET they're just keeping us on our toes. Oh man. Now, the good news is that is all of the trash. Everything else is pretty reasonable. So let's get the A tier stuff done. We're going to throw these in and we'll order them in a moment. So we've got your Ascended stuff is good. Your Clover is good. Yeah, heavy crafting. Yeah. We got our Mystic Coin in there. What else have we got? Oh, yeah, the build template thing. That's got to go. Laurel is actually pretty damn solid as well. Blackline Mastery thing, that's got to go in there as well. We've got our Bag of Gold, very high utility too. And let's see, is there anything else I want to put into A tier? I think everything else is not quite on that level. Ooh, and one thing, you might be thinking, ooh, why aren't you rating the mount skins? I am actually going to do the skins and cosmetics last for a specific reason. I want to talk about those a little bit differently with how I'm evaluating them, because obviously it's more of a subjective thing. So I want to have a bit of a brief conversation about how we're going to go ahead and do that. So, Ascended weapons and Ascended armor. This is very, very useful, especially if you're a new player, especially if you're looking to gear up stuff. Now, you'll actually look at this and go, these are actually quite expensive, and they are. These are not the most gold-efficient things in the universe. In fact, they're relatively inefficient in terms of Astral Acclaim to gold conversion or account value conversion. But what they do let you do, they let you skip crafting. They are no fuss, no messing. Get in there and go. 1 weapon and then 3 armor chests. Amazing. The only downside is that you cannot get all stats yet. And I actually view this as an oversight. I'd love to see a ReNet correct this. You can only get core game stats, which, don't get me wrong, still very powerful. That gives you access to Berserker gear, most notably, and Celestial gear. Very powerful stat sets, and a variety of other, relatively useful ones too. So, not perfect, but still one of the best possible purchases that you can actually get for kind of getting your account up and running with this stuff. I think I'm actually going to move the build template expansion to be here in the middle. I think it's so high value. I think it's not quite as good as the Ascended weapon chest, because weapons are just a really, really big deal when gearing up your character. But the sheer value of this is crazy. That's 425 acclaim for 300 gems. That's almost like a 1-to-1 ratio, like 1.3 ratio there. Incredible value. Now, the reason I'm not putting this in God tier is because I recognize that not every player is going to have a use for this. I think it is a slightly niche item. Not everyone wants to run like a million builds, right? And of course, you might have multiple characters as well for different game modes. But just pound for pound value, absolutely fantastic. It really is. I think after all of that, it's actually going to be the gold. It just 6 acclaim for 1 gold 90 times. Is insane. That's just 90 gold just for free. This is why the vault is so cool for new players, because that's 90 gold. That's a big deal. That's going to be every 3 months-ish. Every time the vault refreshes, this will kind of turn over and you'll go again. But it is fantastic, and this is going to be the next kind of block we're going to talk about here. This is the gold block. So gold, amazing. Mystic Coin, also incredibly good. This can, of course, fluctuate depending on Mystic Coin prices, but definitely on the same level as that bag of coin in terms of value. Then we're also going to end up having, Mystic Clover. This one's actually a bit difficult to evaluate. I think it actually does come next after the Mystic Coin. So a Mystic Clover is worth about 5 gold. So you're getting 5 gold for 60 acclaim. However, what I really like about these clovers and why I kind of value this highly is because this is a guaranteed way to get one without having to gamble or anything like that, and without having the lockout. A lot of Mystic Clovers are locked out. So in other words, you get them from weekly strike missions, from weekly World vs. World, from weekly fractals, right? All that kind of stuff. Weekly raids too. So the fact that you can just get these locked in, I think actually does justify the, I want to say relatively high price in terms of acclaim. They're definitely a great pickup in conjunction with that legendary weapon starter kit as well, of course. Heavy crafting bag and Laurels. These are actually in the mix here as well. Just some solid, flat out value. The same here with the Blackline Mastery Coffer. You might be thinking, wait, Mastery XP? Are you mad? Well, here's the thing. Check this out. You can, for some reason, you can open the coffer, get the experience out, and sell it for 1 gold. So this is just 1 gold. Never use it for the experience. The experience is useless. There's no reason to do that. Like, grinding Mastery XP is never going to hold you back. It's always going to be Mastery points, not the experience. The experience is super fast just from playing the game, like doing events, doing adventures, doing whatever. You're going to have XP coming out your nose. Absolutely no problem. And in fact, it is actually a bit higher value there. You know, weirdly enough, I think the Laurel is actually very high value. The reason for that, by the way, you can get up to 150 of these, so a lot of Laurels. The reason I value this quite nicely, it's good for gearing. It's got a lot of utility. It's flexible. You can buy tier 6 materials. You can get tier 4, because those are also very important in legendaries, are also very expensive. And you can use this for gearing. You can pick up some ascended trinkets for this stuff. And that's actually super nice, in my opinion, because the first ascended gearing is always the trickiest. So allowing players to kind of get their foot on the rung, I think, is super good, and I think that's something that Laurels can actually really help you with. I think we're looking good on A tier. Let's go ahead and do B tier. So B tier, well, it's definitely the gold. This is basically infinite gold, so you can only get 90 gold at 6 Acclaim each. You can get infinite at 30, so it's 5 times worse. Still not bad, right? You know, gold is gold, you know? Like, you know, if you got nothing else to spend it on, or, you know, you've basically picked up all the items you want, then it's not the end of the world, is it? Tome of Knowledge is actually going to go in there. That's just, and the reason is not because of leveling up, or it could be, to be fair, if you want to level an ult. I'm kind of saying this is a Spirit Shard, right? This is actually just a Spirit Shard that you can spend in any way that you see fit, right? Not bad. You know, that's not bad at all. Because Spirit Shards are useful in a wide variety of crafting, ascended crafting, legendary crafting, and of course, you know, if you got a bit of know-how, you can actually perform various recipes, Mystic Forge recipes, and then go on and make a profit out of Spirit Shards as well, either by upgrading materials, or you can go ahead and, I don't know, make some fancy skins and then sell them on. So, yeah, high value if you ask me. Can do that with precursors. Particularly, I think I did this in a Zero to Hero video, made a whole bunch of gold with Spirit Shards by selling End of Dragons precursors. Super good. Transmutation Charge. Actually, not bad. You know, I was kind of... I'd be tempted to rate this a little bit lower, but then I realized, wait a minute. You know, I have full legendary, and I play a lot of PvP in World vs. World, so of course I have infinite of these things. So this is definitely if you play PvP in World vs. World, probably way lower value. But if you play PvE, these can be surprisingly tight to actually come by, especially seeing as you aren't getting them for free in your dailies anymore. So yeah, I actually think the Transmutation Charge, very, very nice. Makes the price in the gem store look really, really funny. I can't remember how expensive it is, but it's kind of alarmingly expensive, to be honest, to pick these up. So that is the good news. That is the good news. And let's see, what have we got left? Oh yeah, these suck. Some people like these. I don't know. It's not Noob Trap because there is utility here on the build storage, but this is not an equipment template or a build template. This is like the little panel on the side that you can slot your builds into, which no. It's not that good. I don't value these very highly whatsoever. I mean, maybe maybe you like that. I don't. I think they suck. And going in there, upgrade Extractor, there's a decent bit of utility. And maybe, you know, you want to remove an upgrade from some gear, and then you want to put it in the Mystic Forge to change the stats on it, or you want to salvage something, and you want to get the rune out, get the sigil out, or whatever. You want to swap the sigil. Yeah, honestly, there's some kind of value you can get out of that, but it's not great, to be honest. It's not horrible, but it's not great. And I think that's kind of the thing. And you know what? I might get meme for this one, but I'm putting Revive Orb in C tier here. Maybe I've got a bit of a soft spot for these things, but I can't put it in Noob Trap. It probably does deserve to be in Noob Trap, to be honest. It's pretty expensive, and it just brings you back to life, and well, I mean, you can just use a waypoint, right? But I don't know. It's not nothing. It does something, right? How bad can it be? How bad can it be? I kind of like these things. I'll admit, I got a soft spot. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend picking these up, to be honest, unless you're like me and you also are a Revive Orb enjoyer. Good for saving the day in Fractals, to be fair. I mean, that's actually a thing. Like, Arena have confirmed that Revive Orbs are part of the vision in Fractals. They added it to Silent Surf now. Yeah, Revive Orb gaming. That is a core part of the Fractal Challenge Mode experience, so get in there and revive. That's something. And now we got the cosmetics. So when it comes to the cosmetics, I'm probably going to rate these by how much value they are. Because, of course, you know, maybe you think the skin sucks. Maybe you think the skin is amazing. Maybe you think my taste in skins is also horrible. So we're going to kind of look at how expensive they are relative to what they are. And it'll be no surprises there. Yeah, the mount skin is god tier. 1,000 acclaim for potentially a, 1.8k gem, 2k skin. Insane. That is actually even, more ridiculous than the gem price conversion on the Acclaim to the build template expansion. So just spectacular value. If you like that skin, this is an absolute Omega Giga bargain compared to, what something comparable would be on the gem store. I think all of the other, single skins, honestly, there's better. Well, one, there's better stuff. See, I am letting my personal taste get in it. I've seen better. I've seen a lot better skins than that. It's not that good. But also, relatively expensive, I want to say, for what they are. I guess if you, to purchase a similar skin, it might cost you a comparable amount of gold. But, it is what it is. I don't think they're that great or that exemplary in terms of value. I think the emote, this is actually something that I actually have really enjoyed with Soto, actually, is the addition of emotes as rewards. I think that's a cool idea. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the Bless emote up in A. I quite like it, Yeah. I like this thing. And I like that they're being added to in-game rewards. There's a lot of new emotes with the expansion. And yeah, I actually kind of love to see that. I think it's a cool thing. It's very Guild Wars 1. This is very common in Guild Wars 1, of course, that for completing a title, you would essentially unlock an emote, right, that you'd be able to flex on people with. And, the PvP ones, I think, are particularly infamous for this, actually, in that game. So, yeah, I like this. It's cool. And there you go. That is the full tier list, in my opinion. I'd love to know what you think about all of this. I think I've got it just about right in terms of the valuations, where I really like the stuff, in A tier and God tier. B tier is like, it's all right. C tier, you're pushing it. And do not buy these, okay? Do not buy these unless you want to make some kind of hilarious meme video. Which, it's possible. I'm not saying you don't want to do that. But anyway, that's it. So, hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Hope it was useful to all of you. Check out the tier list. And more content to come as always. So make sure to follow, subscribe. Come watch me on Twitch as well. Follow me on Twitter. We can talk to each other. You can flame me for my poor choice of tier list. But anyway, that's going to just about do it. So, again, thank you very much, gamers. I'll see you next time.